It was brought to my attention that the brand owner of the makeup brand I modeled for is in support of Israel.
Was it like they took the money, knew what Ethan and Hila were about, and then afterwards decided to cuck out? That would be crazy if that's true.
Here's another one. My art, my voice will always belong to those fighting to live freely and without fear. Apologies to anyone I've offended.
Nobody's actually offended by this. That's why it's like ridiculous.
This one crushed me. I was like, when the makeup launches, we're definitely going to work with you because I love your look.
And then they fucking snarked them.
She has pinned the post with Trisha. Trisha literally was paid by Israel.
Wait, what? When was this? What the f?
Everything that I say doesn't matter. When I apologize, it doesn't matter. They don't hear it. What did I say? Did I care about my family there?
Yeah, that I don't think civilians should be slaughtered.
They're basically locked into a corner where their best friends are Papa Gut and Nicholas Diorio, and that's f***ing horrible. I don't think that the way to rebuild their credibility is going to be through talking about Israel-Palestine. I don't think that they need to do that. They could have like credibility built through talking about other topics, and that'll work just fine. All right, guys. Teddy Glow. Been having some audio issues, so we're restarting the segment. I believe we're gonna learn about it here, but I believe Teddy Glow. I think that's Hila's. I believe it's their makeup brand. They started brand new. I've yet to try it. And I guess 3 of the 4 people, from my understanding, decided to dip out because of their, I guess, quote unquote support of Israel. So let's just get started.
First, before we start talking about this,
let me
just emphasize that
I guess we're not going to start.
Please do not message or interact with any of these people we're talking about.
Yes.
There's some people that we feel acted inappropriately and cruelly against us, but they're at the same time also just, private. Well, they're I mean, they're models, but like they're not internet people.
Well, yeah, I get what he's saying. They're not. I don't think that they're necessarily snarking. They're not exactly snarking. They're just like. I mean, it sounds like they're probably going to fall victim to like whatever the social narrative is against Ethan and Hila. So,
in the same way we are. So, and anyway, just that doesn't help anything. Your support has been extraordinarily appreciated. But anyway, I just want to say for the record, please do not go to any of these people and message them or comment on their stuff.
I want to add to that too. Don't try to speculate. Like if you're not sure who did what or who said what, don't try to speculate and message the ones that to find out or anything like that. Because I've heard from like one model, for example, who didn't pick a side. If anything, she was supporting me in all of this. That she's also.
Oh, I guess Hila put on the makeup. All right.
Also getting now messages, because people.
So I'll make that clear.
She looks like a WWE wrestler right now. It looks nice. It's crazy. I was a lot more than I thought it was gonna be.
Thankfully, our message.
The makeup artist for the photo shoot and the models did the shoot, then decided to speak out against him. Oh wait, is that how it is? Was it like, they took the money, knew what Ethan and Hila were about, and then afterwards decided to cuck out?
I'll make that clear.
And either way, I know that everybody's unhappy to see.
That would be crazy if that's true. It's one thing if they I guess got harassed afterwards, but if they knew the whole time and they decided to just come out against them, that would be really fucked up.
See what happened, but yeah, messaging them just doesn't help anybody.
So anyway, this is the post, right?
Yeah, it was like our 2 amazing looks.
These are pretty good looks. I like them. I think they're nice.
You know what's funny? There's like a snark makeup guru subreddit.
Yeah.
Which I'm hearing now from everybody that Reddit is now suggesting to them like crazy.
Including myself. Now it's being recommended to me on my
Dude, Reddit needs to be held accountable. What they're
saying snark Reddit is available now?
Doing on that website and pushing people into these snark subreddits is extraordinarily fucked up.
Yeah.
But obviously the snark people were being super mean to Hila about everything. And I don't take it seriously because they're snarkers, but there was one comment I thought was actually a sneak compliment. They said, and by the way, there's no way that they actually used the palette to do these looks.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I was like, they did.
They did.
So
That is a massive.
Well, I mean, I guess that is a compliment then. If they're trying to insult, it sounds like they think it looked good. Seems like they thought it looked good, and it was so good they couldn't believe that they came up with the makeup themselves. I guess.
Compliment.
I was like, hell yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah, idiots, right? So here's the post.
So it started with this post, and then I don't know how much to go into the things, but like
I have the.
it's been a while now that I kind of work with people and we don't tag people because of the harassment that everybody that works with me ends up getting.
Yeah, it's been like that for a long time.
So we've stopped tagging people, and then I noticed the makeup artist that we worked with. I noticed at some point after we posted that in their story, they shared this and said something like,
well, it's interesting. I feel like if they didn't tag the artist, I feel like the artist would have known about that from the start, right? Because I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I imagine the natural conversation is like, hey, can you work with us? Blah blah blah. We like your look. We think you're going to look really good in our makeup and facial structure and all that jazz. But we're not going to tag you on Instagram because some people can be a little bit toxic. Like I feel like that was a conversation to be had. Because if I was somebody working with them, you would imagine that part of this would be about getting yourself out there if you're working with somebody. Or maybe I'm wrong, but...
So here's the first one. Are you managing diabetes? Lower your A1C.
I think we're okay.
Without finger sticks. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor. Shut up.
That's what they said.
Do I look diabetic to you?
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
That's not the first one. Oh, it is the first one. Sorry.
So you want to explain what you're looking at here?
That's.
I mean, the looks do actually look nice. They look pretty good.
So the makeup artist, he had 2 assistants,
Okay.
and then
Sorry,
so it was
my throat hurts a little bit. I'm going to be coughing a little bit.
given
I'm
a
not kidding. I've been having audio issues, so I got a little angry.
shout out to one of the assistants, or to both of them who did these looks, because he did other looks.
Yeah.
The assistants did these 2.
Okay.
Just giving a shout out for them, and I was just going through his stories, and I was like, oh, interesting. Okay, so he shared it, so good luck for all of us. And then I keep going through his stories, and I get to the next story.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
He was spilling her drink all over the place.
And there, I see this one. A few stories after he shared that.
So
And
who posted this? Him?
Him.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, yeah, makes sense.
So I'll read it.
I don't stand with any government or force that thrives on oppression. I stand with the liberation and safety of all people living under oppression. My art and my voice will always belong to those fighting to live freely without fear. That's who I create for. That's where my heart stays. Apologies to anybody I've hurt or offended. I wonder if they found these people and started like harassing the fuck out of them. But Jesus Christ, dude. Like, and this is probably something people don't really know, I guess, but like nobody, like people care, but nobody cares about what Snark has to say in the real world. Like that doesn't mean anything. This is just a very loud online like harassment campaign, realistically speaking.
Yeah. He goes, I don't stand with any government or force that thrives on oppression. I stand with the liberation and safety of all people living under oppression. Truly a brave stance, by the way.
Now, I want to also make it clear that after I saw that, I texted him, because he's the one that I actually have a phone number of. The rest I don't. I texted him and I was like, I gave him my perspective on everything, and he did send me a really nice message back.
That's good.
Okay. Well, I mean, is it good? Because if he disavowed them publicly or something. Oh, I guess this isn't a disavowment of them publicly, technically. I mean, it insinuates that they don't support, people dying. Or rather, they don't support Gazans. Like, they don't support the people who are being killed. Obviously, Ethan and Hila support what's not what's happening. They are disavow what's happening. They are in support of the people that are getting harmed drastically, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. I'm not speaking as concisely as I'd like to. That's an insinuation, though, that they don't support it. But at the same time, it's not like actively like, oh, Ethan and Hila, this, that, and the other thing. So
that, is not like ashamed of what we've done together, or it's not.
He didn't erase his stuff as far as I saw.
He never posted it. It's
I
just
never
one
posted
story.
It was just a story.
But I think
I mean, I guess that story's fine.
he sent me a really nice message, so I just want to make that clear. I don't want
Is he the one that didn't like disavow them?
this to become a witch hunt on anybody.
Well, it's also worth acknowledging on the other hand that I understand how scary it is when you get mobbed by a bunch of lunatics who are like,
Yeah.
you support genocide. Your career is over, buddy. And then you get like super defensive because you're like, I don't support genocide. What are you talking about?
Yeah, especially when you're not used to it. You're not used to backlash. You do something like makeup or whatever. You're not used to being thrown into the middle of this.
And then also like being mobbed by like 100 people telling you the same thing is is like what you.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming for somebody who doesn't really know like how the game works. And that's what Snark is playing. They're playing a fucking game. Let's be real. Like they're not being serious. They're playing like a fucking game. Like they're just trying to, they're really just trying to fuck with Ethan and Hila at this point.
It makes sense that you would just believe
Damn.
them. You're like, this can't be just made up, right? Like 100 psychopaths all saying the same thing.
And again, when you're not used to it, that feels like a million people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
True.
but they continue.
It takes a while to learn. I mean, I guess it's easier for me to say like, oh, nobody really cares about this in the real world. They don't. But it's easy for me to say. But, it's also because I've been a pretty big deal for several years. You know what I'm saying, dude? You know what I mean, dude? I'm a pretty big deal now, but I've obviously been on the line for a while, so it's easy for me to say.
My art, my voice will always belong to those fighting to live freely and without fear.
I mean, this guy is a makeup photographer. Like, I think you need to chill out a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's be fucking real here.
That's who I create for. That's where my art stays. Apologies to anyone I've offended. Honestly, I didn't have a big problem with it until the last line. He's like, apology to anyone I've hurt or offended.
Yeah, nobody's actually offended by this. That's why it's like ridiculous. Nobody's actually offended by their working with Ethan and Hila at any capacity. Like, it's all pretend, It's all like a pretend, like fucking nonsense. They're all pretending to be offended. It's a bunch of people online that are usually like actually don't give a fuck about anybody, that are looking for a reason to be offended because it makes them feel good about themselves when they do shit like this.
For what? I just was like, okay. But at this point, it wasn't really a big deal. It was just him.
Wasn't, and at least in this one, like he didn't call anybody by name.
Yeah.
He didn't make it about me or about Teddy Glow.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that was
You're offended? I appreciate that, Willow.
the first one I saw.
I think he made he made an effort to remain professional.
To just let people know where his heart is and still acknowledge something. I understand the statement.
Sure.
It does
fair.
hurt to see it.
Oh, Jolly Saint
It's just unfortunate because, that doesn't look good for like their brand.
Nick's in chat. He says, I hope
Whoa, Nicholas Dior was in my chat too. And you want to know what? That's when I was having audio issues. So, Nicholas Dior, I'll be seeing you at round 1.
Hila's doing well.
Thank you.
We're going to have a DDR dance off, guys.
I love.
I received your message when you said your message on stream.
Oh, yeah.
The day that I was the most upset.
I love Nicholas Diorio.
Whoa, that's gay, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah. I've been watching your content. I think you're very funny
Wow.
guy.
And
Wow. How terrible. What was their commentary on my stuff? That they thought I was fucking Meat Canyon, dude. This is fucked up. What the hell's that about, bro? Gonna get me wrong? Gonna do me dirty, dude? That's it. I'm done. I'm just kidding. I just think I actually don't think that Ethan or Hila like me. I think that they like my wife. I think they see my wife sometimes, and she's just such an amazing woman. This isn't a joke, by the way. My wife is amazing. It's our anniversary tomorrow. By the time this video comes out, it'll probably be on our anniversary. So everybody praise me for locking that shit down for this long. And I'll tell you, one of the tricks to locking my wife down was I basically have been grooming her. She's been getting very independent as of lately. She's like, oh, she wants to do things like gas up the cars or, put the car on the charger because we have a half electric car, and I've been like, stop doing that. You're getting too independent. So, that's been a problem. I got to make sure that she doesn't do too many things for herself. Fellas, you got to make sure you rob your wife of their independence so that they're less likely to leave you. This is a pro tip. This is a pro tip for you guys. just to be clear. All right, don't let her do too many things by herself. You know, my wife's very capable, but you got to make sure you tell women that they're not capable. I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's going to be our anniversary, so that's a beautiful thing.
I feel like your coverage has been really good on topics that I end up watching. Like you're good with research.
I really like the Fortnite gameplay. Are you fucking kidding me?
He's the Pope. And I'll say this, Nick, I never thought in a million fucking years I would ever utter these words. Like if you went back 3 years ago or something,
I know.
I would have never even dreamed that you actually were talented.
Okay, that's beautiful.
I'm
What, that was crazy?
just being serious.
I always thought he was quick-witted. I mean, even though we had different opinions, you know, back then, I felt like he was always good on his toes.
I never really tuned in, to be fair. But
I avoided because I knew these people don't like.
Well, let's be real about Nicholas Diorio here as they glaze him up. The only reason Nicholas Diorio is enjoyable now is because he stopped being a fucking crybaby about React content. All right, let's be real. Oh, he's a fucking content purist sitting here. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's why some people say that's why he never truly respected Boblax. Because he was a content purist that didn't respect React type content, and that is what Boblax was doing. You know, and so now he has come to the light side, which is React content. And I was like, wow, you know what? This is amazing. I can pay for all the watches and pinball machines and dates with Mika's rhetoric as I want. And it's like, it's a beautiful thing. You know, what the fuck? Is a spider? Whoa. It's a beautiful thing. So
Like us, so I just never even watched anything.
Just for sanity.
I totally avoided everything.
some people say that he takes after me, actually, in some ways. Some say that I walk so that he could roll. I think that's a beautiful thing. Also, we're both fat, so I can say it. Okay.
Everything.
Which is like the same reason I don't open the Snark subreddit or whatever.
Oh my god, dude.
Also, to be fair, Nick used to participate in some really nasty stuff like calling Hila horseface and stuff. That being said, water under the bridge. But I'm just saying there was a reason.
God.
Yeah, but he thought that I wouldn't forgive him or anything, but I...
You know who I think would do really well with... Sorry. Oh, fuck. Okay. Sorry, God. Sometimes I can't get my own joke out. Fuck. You know who I personally think would be a really good fit for Teddy Glow? Fuck. I can't see. This is the worst part about it. Yeah, I got it. You know, I think it would be perfect. Fuck. All right, guys. I can't get the joke out. This was the joke. Okay, this would be a good fit for Teddy Glow. Jojo Siwa. It's giving me Jojo Siwa vibes. By the way, I don't hate Jojo Siwa. I think the makeup looks nice. I just thought it was funny, and I was giggling like a little kid. So sorry.
I actually watch your content pretty regularly now.
Whoa! Uh-oh, Hila's looking outside, dude.
I like Diorio. I gotta say, I gotta admit it. I'm a Diorio fan.
A Diorio.
You're setting him up though now, because now this is bad luck.
He's gonna turn on me,
Something's gonna happen.
Damn.
You just
and I'll
every
be
time
like,
we
I
endorse
fucking
someone.
always hated that piece of shit.
That's right.
Pope, more like the popper.
Nicholas Diorio is dodging me, if you think about it. Because we live close together, but he won't. He just keeps dodging me. He keeps going to round one. I popped in the stream the other day. Said I saw you at round one, and you're playing pinball. And he's like, "What? I was actually there. I didn't actually see him at round one. What the fuck is happening here? I didn't actually see him there. What the fuck?
Broke. Beggar. You like that reference? That was a good play on words? Pope and the popper. Yeah. Probably do poppers. Drug addict.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to see you, Nick. Beat him up. With peace and love, what shirt is Ethan wearing? I need it. You're talking about the jacket, I assume.
Jacket off.
Probably. That's
I
on
saw
the
lots of
website
people
right
commenting on the jacket last time I wore it last week. Yeah, it's on the website. It's
Jacket off.
it's really beautiful. It's got this lovely texture. It's warm.
now. Waffle.
The details
My wife said to tell Nicholas Diorio to meet me at the Star Wars machine. All right, cool.
are beautiful. I think you'll love it if you do buy it.
Do you buy chocolate?
Where is it?
Are we doing an ad? Doing an ad read? Wow. So, hey, let's talk about Teddy Glow. Oh, let's talk about Nicholas Diorio. Oh, let's do an ad read. Come on. What's going on?
Is it down this far? Oh, here it is.
There it is.
Dip dye waffle jacket. Yeah, this thing is fucking awesome. Oh, the gray is almost sold out. XL is only left. The blue, there's still lots of blues. So this, and I mean, this color really, really is
really
good.
nice.
And it's a
Can
very
we get one
wearable.
for the office?
Very wearable. I love it so much.
Yes, Nate.
All right, let's just fight somebody.
Thank you.
Hey.
So moving on, a model from the photo shoot
Whoa.
then started posting about it. Was this the same day?
So this one crushed me because
They were developing a little bit of like a little bit of a friendship. So this one upset Hila the most. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
I really like the model, and
Damn.
we've had some. Well, we
Whoa! There's a little experimenting going on, dude.
interviewed her or them a while ago for a potential job. That didn't happen, but I was like, when the makeup launches, we're definitely gonna work with you because I love your look. And then
Damn.
the photo shoot
And then they fucking snarked them.
came up, and we reached out, and so I felt like we had some like a little bit of a bond there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Word is bond, my friend.
That happened.
She knew you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not enough.
Not like personally.
Weren't strangers.
No, but they had like a nice little business like relationship thing, and then she kept her in mind for a new project, and then they pulled her on.
To a degree. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, it's gonna be one of those things where this is one of those situations where I think that future people that would want to work with these models might be like a little hesitant about it, because I don't think that this is offline enough for anybody to actually like care as much about. Like people snarking on Ethan and Hila pretending that they support what the Israeli government's doing. I don't think that's a real thing offline. I think it's a very terminally online thing. And so I think that they're potentially hurting themselves as like models moving forward with the way that they're interacting with it. The camera guys seem to be chill.
I don't think they know anything about me necessarily, but had
So
a few interactions.
was this the same day or like the next day? I think it was the same day.
I think it was the same day.
Like a couple hours later. Oh no, I think what happened in the
No.
night,
Mm-hmm.
I saw that first one.
Right.
And in the morning I woke up
Yeah.
and this was the first thing I
Okay.
saw.
Yeah.
And I was like, great.
Yeah.
So this is one of the models. She wrote this. Actually, no, I think it's fair to say which one it was, because just so that the other girl who didn't
Just say who it is.
say it, at least it was this model.
Yeah.
Damn.
And again, this is not a call to interact or harass her, or
No.
not even harass, but just leave her alone, right? That's not my purpose in saying that. Just be clear.
No, but if they're gonna say stuff like this publicly, you have the right to respond publicly. So fuck it.
So here it is. It was brought to my attention that the brand owner of the makeup brand I modeled for is in support of Israel.
Whoa! I'm making my own makeup brand called Tubby Glow, dude. Tubby Bumpkins, That's my new character that I can't support the voice of because it hurts my mouth, throat.
I find that phrasing so interesting too. It's not even like is in support of genocide, just in support of Israel. It's like, what does that mean? I mean, she was born there.
What it means is that they don't have any understanding of what they're saying. They're just saying things. Like, it's okay to be in support of like the people of Israel. I don't think it's okay to be in support of the Israeli government. But that's pretty much all it is. It means that they don't really know what's going on, and they are probably being told that they have to be outraged by it, and that's pretty much it.
I'm
the hell was that?
disgusted, to say the least.
Disgusting.
When I was presented this job, I had no knowledge of this and would have said no otherwise.
Whoa.
I've always been vocal about my support
Hey, times are tough, dude. You need that job, baby.
for Palestine and all oppressed and marginalized groups under an oppressive system. I know where my heart and core values lie. All photos have been deleted off my page, and I do not align myself with that brand. One
Whoa.
mistake doesn't determine my entire identity nor heart. Moving
I personally think one mistake should determine everybody's identity. You know what I mean? Like, just one little mistake should ruin your life forever.
forward, and I will be diligent about the brands and people I work with. Now, that's a fascinating statement she made at the end there. But what was your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, that's the one that really wait, what
What the fuck is happening in the background?
um
Oh, guess they're having audio issues too.
I don't know. Yeah. I started to feel so depressed when I saw this one cuz it's like
Damn.
first of all none of what
Rich people problems in America. I'm just kidding. This is really sad. I imagine like I think this is one of the things is I imagine that it's just like a constant bombardment. I mean, they have a lot of money, so that's cool, but it's just like a constant bombardment. And I feel like it's one of those things where, you know, even if it's one of those things where it probably feels like if you went into public, you wouldn't know who does and doesn't hate you. You know, it's got to be a weird feeling. And it seems like people are so brazen. You know what I mean? That's what it probably feels like. And it's like constant bombardment. And they're basically locked into a corner where their best friends are Papa Gut and Nicholas Diorio. And that's fucking horrible. Could you imagine? I mean, this is a reality, is that like Ethan Klein and Hila, the snark campaign against them is so effective that their best friends are fat. That's it. So that's the issue. Feels bad, dude, you know?
is said here is true.
And like, and also, it's kind of sad because I heard that Alex the Fiction, he got a Teddy Fresh package, which I think is a beautiful thing. But like, think about it. You know, they have to be best friends with somebody like Alex the Fiction, who's a great guy, very talented content creator. But you know, he went and he met Ethan, and he told me in private that Ethan sets his chair higher, and he sets other people's chairs lower. So that like he appears to be taller because he's only like 5'6", I think. So unlike me, I'm 6'7". So isn't that crazy?
Second of all, it just makes me feel like anybody that comes close to me then feels like they have to apologize and be completely disgusted that they interacted with a Zionist. It's like, I don't know, there's like so many levels to it that
I think it's not even so much the message, which was very.
You know, I got to give it to Ethan and Neil though. I think that's something that people should keep in mind, is that like, I mean, considering the hate campaign against Ethan and Neela, you know, I think a lot of creators, like Def Noodles, would have already turned red pill and gone to the right because there would be more of a comfortable space there for them. Generally speaking, for people who are very pro-Israel, which they aren't very pro-Israel, they just think Israel's okay. They don't like the government, obviously. So you know, God bless them for not taking the plunge.
Very nasty and extremely unprofessional.
And then I didn't even have her phone number, or we weren't following each other, I guess, on Instagram. So I went to try to DM her and I couldn't on Instagram. I had her email and I sent an email, never got a reply back after this.
But it's not so much the email as it is like, this is what we expect now every time we interact with anybody online. Any partner, sponsor, model, makeup person, literally.
Well, you know, Ethan, here's the positive thing. I was really drunk at a Halloween party with my wife and her family. And of course, when I don't know if you guys know this, I don't talk about anything to do with work or politics unless I'm drunk. And then I'm just a fucking machine. And so, you know, my wife's generally very pro-Trump family. They love me when I'm drunk because I'm very much the opposite. But then we started talking about work a little bit, and my wife's cousin, she thought it was so cool that I knew Ethan Klein. So I was like, nice. So she likes you. I think that's because people offline aren't really super aware of the ridiculous snark campaign. So
anybody we interact with is like being pressured by a mob of psychopaths to say something like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like almost immediately after the post, someone that Hila knew and worked with, and now it ended up being 3.
How do I do this again?
People from the shoot.
There we go.
Who made a comment, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So
3 out of like 5 people that were there.
No, there were more.
2 models, 2 assistants.
There were 3 models. 3 models.
I only saw those 2.
Yeah, no. There's another model.
How many models do they have? Do they have 3 or 4 models? Well, how many are there?
3 models.
Like my understanding was like 3 of the people had like an issue or something. And then I guess, okay, I wonder how many models, like did all the models have an issue or just some of them?
Models, 2 assistants, hair and makeup, and photographer.
So I mean, it was like half. Immediately, like, I had no idea I was working for an Israeli. I would have never fucking taken the job.
It's terrible.
Which again, I'm not blaming people for being reactive. I do think it was deeply unprofessional. But I wish people would just learn a little, just be a little more thoughtful. It's like, she did not choose to spawn in. She didn't choose her spawn point, right? Sometimes you spawn in a shitty spot and you get sniped before you even get a chance to move.
That's so beautiful, Ethan. Thank you for the...
Like, she did not choose her fucking spawn point.
I appreciate the analogy.
So don't call the person on your team shitty who got sniped immediately for getting a bad spawn point.
Yeah.
Do you follow?
I think that's so beautiful, Ethan.
Kind of.
I'm saying I wish people would just fucking stop blaming people for where they're born.
Yeah.
Isn't that common knowledge? Don't we all know? Don't we all know that?
I agree. The models sound like clock albums. I mean, it's one of those. Well, I mean, that's the problem with this type of a conversation, though, is because I think it's very easy. I guess I have to restart everything. I think it's like really easy to kind of brush all of them off as like clout goblins or whatever. But the problem here is that like Snark can be pretty aggressive and like obnoxious. And to people that don't understand this shit, it can make them like feel overwhelmed, even if it is like a very online thing. So I kind of get it. For people who aren't used to dealing with this kind of shit. So, they're probably feeling like a ton of pressure. People are attacking them. From the model's perspective, they built their own personal brand to be a model. And now like they feel like they could potentially lose everything over this situation. And then also people want to be a good person. And then they hear stuff about Ethan and Hila, which are incorrect, but how they like, support Zionism, which I don't think that they do at all. And it's not exactly hip to be socially educated, so they don't understand the difference between Israel and the Israeli government. So it's one of those things where, like, I mean, it's kind of a tough spot. I feel like Ethan could probably like really benefit from figuring out a way to like make his personal brand seem a little less threatening, if that makes sense. Or intimidating. It's not really threatening, but I think that people get like intimidated. Obviously, you see that these models got intimidated, and it's like, how do you do that? How do you bring back your brand? Which I think it is possible. I don't think that Snark represents the entirety of the world. I think that Snark is like it's a somewhat large, but it's a relatively niche online community. And I think that that's probably one of those things that Ethan would probably have to work on more than anything else. I don't know. Like, how do you do that, right?
I thought we all knew that. Right? This girl's kind of big too, though. She has like 100,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a large Instagram model character.
I think it's time for Ethan to hire PR. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's a PR thing. I mean, everybody has a fucking opinion on what he needs to do. I feel like, it obviously makes sense that he would respond to all these snarkers and everything, but he would probably want to try to distance himself from like political conversation, kind of, or at least like those foreign conversations, like foreign politic conversations, which can be very difficult because he's constantly getting snarked. So it's just one of those things that I think you're kind of like it's just a tough situation to really be in,
Yeah, pretty depressing. I mean, here's another one.
Is there a rat?
Oh, goes by they. Apologies.
Okay.
The person who says I will be more diligent to work with people that don't support Israel in the future is fascinating because on her resume, these are all on the beat.
You should model for Teddy. I'd model for Teddy Fresh. I'm pretty sexy, right, guys? You guys, right? Look at that. I could be like a big fat Teddy Fresh guy. He could make handsome clothing. Okay.
BS list. But nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck, right, about that. I'll tell you what's the craziest one.
The fuck was that?
is that these people work with Trisha.
So that's the next person.
The one of these people works with Trisha.
Bro, that girl just totally walked onto my screen and like fucking distracted the fuck out of me.
Yeah. So then after
Trisha's able to go on Broadway. She's able to have sponsorships. She's able to live her life like unfucking bothered by a horde of psychopaths.
Yeah, I mean, and that's because she doesn't have to worry about. She doesn't have to worry about. She hasn't pissed off the Hassan crew. That's one of the problems. Is like Ethan. Oh shit, that really fucked up. Ethan associated with Hassan, and Hassan is like a toxic asshole. And I think that that's kind of how we got here, to some extent. Is that, so it's like, how do you de-escalate out of the Hassan community? Because I think it's inappropriate that Trisha's able to like do her thing now, but it is what it is. But that's the only connection, is that whatsoever. So,
because her snark got removed for no fucking apparent reason, right?
So the next one is Selena, and she was the makeup assist. And once I saw her also say that, I was like, okay, I'm
three now. It's like it's just. I mean, you wanted.
I was telling Ethan, like, I think it's time to just quit everything, like, just disappear.
I mean, I think that we're at a point now where, I don't know. There's probably one of two directions you could go. You could either like really lean into the political conversation and talk about more than just Israel Palestine, which Ethan doesn't tend to do because he's not like a big political guy. To kind of like drown out the negative press that they have on their stance on Israel, which again I think they have the correct stance. You could do that, or I guess just stay away from it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're in a tough spot. They're in a pretty tough spot. Like they're in a pretty tough spot.
They're from the internet altogether.
Well, Trisha Paytas, I'm gonna keep this up because it's important.
I don't think that the attempt to redirect to Trisha Paytas is going to be particularly productive. I don't think that that's going to like resonate with a ton of people trying to be like, hey, look, and I don't know that I'm not saying that that's what they're actively trying to do, but I don't think that this message is going to resonate specifically like with the snark or with like necessarily with detractors of like, yeah, but look at Trisha, you know what I mean? Like again, people don't actually care as much as they're pretending to care. So you know what I mean? Like it's just team sports at this point for them. So I don't think that type of redirection is necessarily going to work.
Important for you guys to know that the people,
as much as I don't like Trisha, I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's almost like I don't know. It sounds like Trisha's always been a piece of shit. Yeah, she has been. Like nobody cares. That's what I'm saying. I think that that's kind of like is what it is. I think that's probably not going to be the tactic that's going to pull people back to him.
Who are trying to ruin our lives for being Israeli. There's like a massive picture. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not showing up in the Google search. Someone send me this, please. I mean, there's this one too.
Is she still running?
Why are the pictures so small? Here. Anyway, let me pull up her statement. Makeup assistant speaks out against Teddy Glow. So this is the girl who's been really wilding. Or is it the other girl?
I don't know what you mean really wilding. It's just another statement.
Well, one of them has been...
I guess that one specifically pissed off Ethan. I think it's just pointing out the hypocrisy and lack of principles. I agree with that. But I mean, like... every moment that you're talking is, I don't know. It's just I feel like what you're saying is not wrong. I'm not saying that they're bad people for doing it, but I guess from like a pure PR perspective, the redirection to Trisha Paytas is probably not going to work. Like nobody, because like again, just like optically, it just kind of looks like, oh, you're trying to redirect onto Trisha, you're trying to cancel her. That's not what he's trying to do. She's not a good person. She's actually one of the worst people online I've seen. But it's one of those things where it's like pick your battles and pick them at the right time. I don't think that the redirection of Trisha is necessarily going to be productive.
And really nasty and just continues to like be more inflammatory. I don't know. I'll read this one from one of the assistants now. The third person. Although I'm proud of the looks I contributed to for this campaign, it's unfortunate to hear about the brand owner and her support of Israel.
Ooh.
again, like the brand owner and her support, it's like we were there together and interacted, you know. It just feels so weird to then see people talk about me like that. And like not
She was born there, is that what you mean? Like,
no,
I mean,
but like
what the fuck?
Well, they don't really know what they mean. They're just talking. Like they're just saying things. They're just like, oh, they're supporting Israel. That's not good. You know, there's not a publicly available or I don't know how I want to say this, but it's not like there isn't enough nuance, I guess you'd say, in the public narrative to be like, hey, there's a difference between supporting Israeli people versus supporting the Israeli government. Those are two different things, right? And that's a difficult thing to come up with, you know. And the Israeli government is not exactly making these things any easier, because they won't stop like being very public about wanting to like hire influencers for different things to try to like, you know, rebound their PR. So it comes off as like very, it's just like they're not helping, like they're not helping either, you know. So
how about try to reach out or ask me or do some Google yourself? I don't know what's the appropriate thing, but I feel like immediately.
And it brings into another element, because we're at a spot now where basically Ethan and Hila are kind of expected to be, you know, to some extent, like an educator of every person that talks about this topic or that wants to work with them. There has to be like an education metric from them. And that's also like an obnoxious burden that they have to put on themselves of like, oh, okay, you know, now I have to potentially, you know, educate half the people or all the people I want to work with on like, hey, there's a difference between supporting the Israeli government and just supporting, you know, the actual people of Israel, you know. And so that's a lot. That makes it an additionally difficult aspect of it.
Rushing to make a statement like this about somebody you spent. I mean, the shoot was a long day, a whole day. We all spent together. It's very intimate. Everybody feels bonded on a shoot like that.
That's kinky.
We all had a great day. We loved.
Hey, what about a whole intimate day at Disney?
The photo shoot, like, so, you know, it feels like crazy to see this.
Well, it just feels like anti-Semitism is the noble racism. Like there's never been.
That is how people feel. I think it's important for people to acknowledge that, like, people. I think that people are generally everybody wants to hate something, and they want to feel justified in it. And like, unfortunately, that's, you know, for white supremacists, it's like hating everybody that they feel isn't white. For other people, it's like hating, you know, who they feel are like the oppressor. Obviously, being more progressive is better, but Ethan's not an oppressor. You know what I mean?
At least in my world, I'm sure. Like if you go back in the day, people consider probably like racism against black people to be noble, right? In some circles,
that's true. I don't know if that comparison is going to operate with anybody. Unfortunately, one of the prevailing narratives in this conversation, which I think to an extent is like very anti-Semitic. Well, actually, it is just very anti-Semitic. But one of the prevailing narratives is that, like, when it comes to you know, anti-Semitism, there is a so one of the things they'll say is like, well, the anti-Semitism isn't as bad. This is what they'll say: is the anti-Semitism isn't as bad because there's more power there. That's what the insinuate. It's actually like weirdly and kind of like deeply anti-Semitic. So when it comes to like being racist against a black person, you know, not only are you being hateful and mean, but also there's a lot, you know, there is a history of systemic racism that's taken away resources from black people. So they don't even have like the, we'll say, economic means to fight back. When it comes to Jewish people, you'll hear a lot of progressives, and I forget exactly what they'll say, but they'll say like, oh, it's hateful, but it's not as effective because they have a higher standing, you know, which kind of does lean into the potential, like, you know, conspiracy dog whistle. So that, you know, again, that's not going to resonate with like snarkers, and not that you necessarily care about that, but that's not going to necessarily resonate with people who disagree with Ethan, because they're just going to brush it off and be like, oh, you're comparing yourself to black people. Well, you're privileged, you're a rich person. And, you know, they'll go on to, they'll have the dog whistle argument of like, oh, well, you know, you guys are influenced, right? So it gets very difficult to navigate these types of like online conversations.
But it feels like in leftist circles, hating Jewish people is just the noble. It's okay to be racist. I saw this one post. It was fascinating. think it was on the subreddit. It was a picture of a woman. It was a tattoo of a woman with a Nazi swastika tattooed on her arm. It was a tattoo of a woman tattooed with a swastika on her arm.
That's very... Why? What the fuck?
And the caption was, first of all, I want you guys to know that the client who had this done is not racist, and it's disgusting that you would even suggest that.
What? How would you not be racist if you're doing that? What?
The problem she has is not with black people, it's with the Jews.
What the fuck? That's insane. That's real?
And I think that you really should look into it because there's a lot, there's a lot of legitimate grievances there. So
that's crazy.
They go, they're not racist. They just hate Jewish people.
This is a real post?
Yeah. I saw a picture of it. It's on our subreddit, I think. It was pretty fucking...
Jesus.
Pretty insane cognitive dissonance that I've seen.
Do they show it? That's crazy.
That's fucking wow.
Let me try to find it. Oh, you found it. Wonderful. Thank you. Check this out. Hey, I'm more of a lurker, but a local tattoo posted this on our socials. I'm a bit stunned. This is Australia. Unsure privacy rules. Okay, well, got nothing to do with me. I can't believe someone would get this tattooed on them and be so ignorant. So check this out. So here is this girl. She's got the SS pin on, and she's wearing a Nazi hat. Kind of looks like Trisha.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
No. I don't see that.
Oh, okay. So here's what they wrote. To anyone offended by this, please know this client is not racist. He has zero issue with people of color. If this tattoo was about that, I would tell him to get the fuck out of my studio. No tolerance for racism here. This, for him, is about the Jews. And then asterisks on the E, because it's a slur, apparently.
That's fucking crazy. It's insane to me. Where do you even find a tattoo like that? That's fucking wild.
Believe the history you've been taught and do your research on who runs the world, and not in a good way.
Well, this is very aggressively anti-Semitic.
So racists, get out.
I love that we both run the world, but also like I can't get this harassment of me to stop. If I was running things, I would be able to.
Can't even get our Snark subreddit shut down when everybody else in the world seems to have no problem doing it.
Yeah.
This blows my fucking mind.
It's pretty wild, right?
I thought for sure what you were describing was not true.
It's real. Right. No, it's a real post, and
gorgeous. People say.
Oh, here's the comments. The Witch of Buchenwald, gorgeous. The art is awesome. 6 million washed and deloused. 30+ million Christians were exterminated by the Jews in the Bolshevik Revolution, though. Exactly. The concentration camp. Oh, this is the author who's against racism, by the way. The concentration camp had a swimming pool, a theater, and library, and no gas chambers.
What? Where have you been?
So.
What?
That's what's going on in some place somewhere in Australia.
It almost makes me feel like I'm the crazy one for like.
You think I'm crazy, Jay? Sorry.
Accepting the Holocaust happened and these atrocities happened. It's just like, are people that fucking just delusional and crazy?
Well, I wonder how. I mean, that seems like a. I mean, the tattoo is inappropriate. I wonder how. I guess that perspective is a little more. Well, this perspective is more prevalent nowadays. It's much more prevalent than it's ever been. I mean, because you have it on the right and the left hate Jewish people. That's the unfortunate reality. I would say that, like, obviously, and we're just going to bring it up for the comparison's sake, basic, because it's always going to be part of the conversation. Like, anti-Muslim sentiment is probably worse. In general, I would say. But both the left and the right have anti-Jewish sentiment. You know what I mean? So it makes it like uniquely different than, I would say, really any. I mean, it makes it uniquely different than like any. It makes it uniquely different because both sides hate Jewish people right now. Unfortunately, it's pretty fucked up. So there's like no side that's like, oh, you know what, I like the Jewish people. No, they're both. Unfortunately, both sides are very, I would say, anti-Jewish, especially with Nick Fuentes becoming more and more popular in the conservative party and the conservative hive mind. So it's pretty tough. It's just an unfortunate thing.
Yes. The problem is the internet, right? These fringe people who have like paranoid delusional personality disorders who obsess over all conspiracy theories.
I wanted to make the game harder, sorry.
And at the heart of every good conspiracy theories, it's always the Jews. They've been given the platform, the means, the places to influence people who are not as crazy as them, but who are very impressionable, right? And it's made a lot of these. Well, I mean, listen, Nazis took over Germany before the internet happened. So I mean, I don't know. This stuff happens, but it does.
Yeah.
Stephen Bradley said, "I'll never know how hard it is to go through this, but in standing strong against this is the greatest lesson you can give your kids. Parents like you are giving me hope that we are not completely screwed." Love you all. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Love you, Steven. Appreciate you, bud.
Yeah. It's just so weird, right? And then when you go to these woke leftists, and I keep going back to
the woke left.
Hassans. Hassan.
What? Where'd they go?
Super woke, right? Against anti-Semitism. Hates Israel, obviously, but not Jewish people. He said,
I think that's debatable. Although I think that a lot of Hassan's, I think when it comes down to it, like for Hassan, I think it's more about getting attention than it is about doing the right thing, right? So like, I don't actually think Hassan hates Jewish people, but I do think that he really wants attention on the internet. People have to understand this. Hassan is like a debate pervert. So he's very like, oh, I want attention online. So he'll say stuff that he knows will come off as like a dog whistle or ambiguous for that attention, because that's how he survives. You know, again, nobody knows Hassan Parker for his politics in any meaningful capacity. They know him for his rage bait moments. They know him for his clip where he said America deserved 9/11. They know him for insinuating Hila. I mixed them together. Hila is a valid military target. They know him for waving a gun around. They know him for bringing on, I guess an alleged terrorist onto his platform. They don't know him though as like, oh yeah, this guy's like pretty intelligent. No, they don't know him for like any type of intelligence. They know him for his rage bait moments. And so that's still anti-Semitic. Right? It's just a different kind. You know, it's like for me, I used to make like really edgy jokes, even like somewhat more recently, up until Donald Trump got elected again. I was making some pretty like edgy jokes and like I was having fun with it. And then I kind of realized, I was like, wait a minute, these people who are consuming my content are actually racist. Because I like edgy jokes, but I wouldn't consider myself, at least not I mean, I don't think I'm racist, but I like racist jokes. But the people that would watch, they're like actually hating on like minority groups that I make a joke about. I'm like, oh fuck, I have to stop doing this. And it's like, Hassan is, Hassan. Well, I mean, maybe he is stupid. I don't know. But he likes to, perform as somebody who's very politically intelligent. So you should know better than to say things that anti-Semites would gravitate towards. That would be your issue, right? So I don't think that he tries to stay away from that.
Sat against me in a debate and made it very clear to my face that I am hallucinating anti-Semitism. That holding a Nazi swastika, a Nazi fucking hilted sword, right, it is not weird at all. And I'm crazy.
Place.
I will not stay in my place. But also, like,
maybe I have like a whitewashed view, but like when I was young, we would make racist jokes, but we didn't mean it. I feel like everybody really means it now, or maybe I was just young and didn't realize the landscape. That's probably more likely. It's just fucking crazy, dude.
When you realize that these people work for all these BDS companies, and the one that really blows my mind always is that they work with Trisha. Trisha literally was paid by Israel.
Wait, what? When was this?
And flew a giant Israeli flag from her house.
When was she paid by Israel?
Now, this is clearly...
What the fuck? Wait, when did this happen?
not about Palestine. If we're the enemy and she is not. This is clearly not to do.
Was this before or was this before or after October 7th? What the fuck?
I don't know what it has to do with.
She did a tourism campaign? Bro, it wasn't that long ago. What the fuck?
But if you guys are supporting her and attacking us, which by all means that's what it seems like, this is not about Palestine.
Can I just ask a sort of somewhat of a tangential question here?
Sure.
Why was the state of Israel spending money on Trisha Paytas making this post?
Because she's influential, dude. Was it before or after?
I'm not. Oh, you know why?
What was the
I have no idea.
So Trisha's always been obsessed with Jews in Israel.
I see. Visit. It must like the tourism.
Yeah, it's a
board or
tourism
something?
thing.
Okay.
But she was trying to be big in Israel for a long time. You guys didn't see it, but they were working behind the scenes, her and Moses. She even had like a little reality show or something, a pilot or
I
something.
remember
that they
from the
shot in Israel.
time when we were still talking or something, weren't they planning like a
I need to know when the flag thing was.
wedding in Israel? They were planning
she-
a wedding here, a wedding in Israel.
She thought like, if I can't be big in America, maybe I can be big in Israel.
Yeah.
That's the thing people don't understand. She loves fucking. Look at this, man. I mean, what the fuck? When are you ever gonna catch me getting paid by the state of Israel?
I wonder when this is from. This is the problem. When was this from? And it looks like they downloaded the this is going to be a problem. It looks like they downloaded the picture. I don't know. Maybe Trisha took it down herself. That's totally possible. But if this was like 3 years ago, before everything like peaked out, people aren't going to hold her to a particularly like high standard because they will be like, "Oh, she just didn't know what she was talking about." Also, she's not exactly the smartest person in the world. There's already a low expectation. I know she used to love Jewish people. I remember seeing her and Ethan having to like educate her on what Israel was doing to people in Palestine when they were in front of me. But chat's saying 3 years ago. Some people are saying a year ago. I don't know. It's tough. I wish I knew exactly when. I wish you would bring up that context and let us know exactly when.
To fly, like, what the fuck is this? And by the way, this was not that long ago.
How long ago?
So why is it?
How long ago? That's the problem. Is like intentionally withholding that information is going to make it look like it's a redirection a little bit. I don't like Trisha Paytas. I don't think that she's a good person. But I don't know if this is a moment that's going to resonate with people necessarily. What the hell? I don't know if this is necessarily a moment that's going to resonate with people because of the context of it.
Right.
Like if it happened before October 7th or something, people might be more willing to give her a pass on it. Oops, shit. I wasn't paying attention.
That everybody we work with.
Unfortunate stuff.
But you didn't show why we're talking about it because the
Found a picture saying April 2003. That would make sense. October 7th was in 2003, I believe.
The last girl that made this statement.
This girl.
She has a Trisha post pinned on her page.
Fantastic,
so she's,
right?
The most proud of that work.
She says again.
So much.
It's unfortunate to hear this brand owner supports Israel. Pinned, by the way. Pinned. So you tell me, what the fuck is this about? Right? Is it still pinned? And then, I mean, here she is cosplaying as an IDF soldier. She came to my Passover dinner dressed up as a fucking IDF soldier in a beret, which is psychotic. Actually, I think this is what she wore.
Yeah,
this is what she wore.
Sounds so nice.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a little Jewish dinner tonight.
It was just bizarre, I mean.
It was.
Right? Like that's not how we walk around. Just for the record.
Well, that's going to be the response for most people because Trisha's like a troll too. Like, I mean, Trisha really has done a very good job with her brand. She's done a good job. People don't really take her seriously. They think that she's a troll. They feel it's easier to brush things off. It seemed like all this stuff happened before October 7th, which was, I think, a very big social awakening for people. They're going to give her a pass on it, and I don't know how effective it is for non-Ethan fans to go like, oh my god, see, this is another reason she's a bad person. They're not going to do that because most people who are especially snarking on Ethan or hating Ethan or falling for the snark, they're not socially educated, and so they look at Trish and go like, oh yeah, I did that back then too. Like, I didn't know either. They're not gonna care too much about this talking point.
Weird. Right.
wonder if her love, it all started with the Zohan. Like
That's an interesting point.
I know that she loves that movie.
And by the way,
She
people
was
You can't stand that she's popular. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know. My take on it is, like, it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do? It's not even worth getting upset about. It's not even worth, like, getting that worked up about, because it just is what it is, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do to, like, take her down like that, at least not in this direction. The only thing that you could do that Ethan could do to take down Trisha is to, like, stop talking about her, generate his own credibility, and then wait for an opportunistic moment to, like, shit on her for doing something like really bad if she even makes a mistake again.
It was an Adam Sandler stand in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she bought a bunch of his clothing.
Which, fair.
Hey, Adam Sandler is a G, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the clothes buying part, but enjoying Adam Sandler films.
She did.
And then the
People tell Hila she's the raider of Ramallah. Dude, Moses was literally in the military unit. He flew a fucking battle helicopter in the army for 3 years.
Yeah, but Moses isn't really a public brand. That's the thing. So Hila is a public brand, and so she's going to get more backlash. I'm not justifying it. I'm just explaining, like, why you see this. Nobody's going to care about Moses because he's not a public brand, and he doesn't talk about politics either. So it gives people more of an excuse, especially people who want to give him more charity than he deserves, which is going to be a lot of, like, the Ethan detractors.
The thing also is, like you said, the language keeps getting so vague. Like her support
Yes.
of Israel.
Yes.
Okay, do you care to expand?
Like I was born
like,
there.
what about-
Do I want everybody there to die? I mean, some people would say that's
everybody
support
here
of Israel.
that's now unhappy with the government? Or are you guys still supporting America? Like,
I mean,
He's a public brand. He's not the same as a public brand. He's not nearly as popular as these two. And again, their part of their public brand isn't talking about politics. And they also didn't associate with Hassan. It's a totally different space.
if
He's got his own podcast now. Does he have his actual own podcast? I mean, I guess he's working himself to a brand. What the hell? I was, like, stuck.
America does horrible things as an American.
You're telling me people don't watch his canned food reviews? Does he have canned food reviews? That's fucking elite, dude. What the hell? He's water. I mean, even her podcast, though, doesn't do even close to the same views as Ethan's. And, like, again, she's not part of the Hassan sphere. I mean, this is one of the things, is that Trisha has done a very good job staying ASMR by Moses Hackam. Okay. Trisha, as much as I think people don't like her, which I don't, or they do like her, or whatever, she's done a good job staying, like, her brand. She's done a good job branding and resetting her image. Honestly,
Are you allowed to still, like, care about what happens to America, or care about your family that lives in America?
I mean, that sounds outrageous, but it's the same logic. It's the exact same. I mean, it's even worse because America's, I mean, as bad as the shit Israel's doing, which is terrible. America is the dawn.
I mean, we've been supporting what they're doing. I would say that America's probably having a more positive impact than Israel is overall. I'd like to think that. Maybe that's a cope. But, I mean, I guess we're not even really doing, like, we're not even, like, giving out foreign aid, so maybe we're not. Like, I don't know, maybe we're not. Who knows?
Oh, that shit.
But I'll tell you, America's image is at least a little bit better than Israel's, I'll tell you that much.
Right?
And you know what a big part of it is? The reason that America's image is probably not as bad, part of it's probably just because, like, we're still a reasonably decent tourist destination. Like, you can't really, nobody who's really going to, Israel as a tourist outside of people who have, like, what is it called? They have, like, a thing where, like, Jewish people will visit, but, like, who else is really doing that? Meanwhile, we have 2 Disneys here.
Like 1 million Iraqis killed and I mean, what the fuck, right?
I guess that's true.
But yet you live here. Interesting. Oh, yet you were born here. Racist. People always sidestep this question. I asked it of Hassan, and he never answered it. And people act like it's such a crazy,
Birthright. Is that what it's called? The Birthright, like, visit or whatever it is?
outrageous question, but it's really not. Imagine one day a group of Native Americans from a reserve roll up to a nearby suburb and just start blowing up and killing everybody there because it's their land and they want it back. And it is, right? By the same logic. Would you be okay with that? Would you?
Okay. I just I understand what he's saying. Because, like, of course not. People in America will be like, well, no, I wouldn't support that. I don't want to give up my home or whatever. But I think that I think that the way that this comes off is I don't know. What I get out of that is a little bit of almost like a watered down history of what's been going on. I don't know. That's just not the way. I just would have said that. It doesn't sound particularly good.
Jews just say that's okay. You know what? They're right. We're not going to respond. You know, we need to move out of our house. They're right. Is that because that's the same? Am I wrong? I mean, that's literally the same logic. The only difference is like 100 years.
I guess.
So is it just a matter of time that makes the difference? Where being born somewhere, you know, when do you stop?
I don't think it's a necessarily unreasonable comparison. I just don't think that people that, like, again, like snarkers are going to look at that and go like, oh, great point, Ethan. Like, I don't think that's going to change anybody's mind. It sounds a little bit insensitive. I mean, sure, I suppose it's a reasonable. I don't know. I just personally, I wouldn't fucking. I don't know. I don't know if that's considering the horrible optics with Ethan right now. I don't know if that's what I would have said, something like that.
Stop being a colonizer. You know what I mean? Is it 100 years? Is it 200 years? I don't know. Nobody wants to actually even really engage that point.
I mean, time is going to be a general factor. Sure. I suppose that's going to be part of it. I guess. Yeah. I mean, we're also, you know, we're in a spot now where like a lot of the people like America for the most part. I would say people generally like America. Outside of the Trump administration, generally speaking, people in America like living here. And they're the ones that are like the loudest advocates, or I guess some of them pretend advocates for Palestine. And so they're not going to want to like look inward in that capacity. And then we have decent PR, I guess, for like as a country. Because we have influence, people like coming here for vacation. I know that sounds silly, but like that's a real factor. What the fuck? That's like a real factor. You know, that's literally something people like. If people like to go to a place for a visit, they will like the place more. It's just like a reality. I'm just letting you know. So it is like an actual factor. So, I mean, I get his point. I don't know if it's a point I'd make right now in today's climate, though.
And then when I say that they are hating me because I'm from Israel, then
we're literally not trying to convince snarkers. They have psychosis. I guess so. Okay.
Snarkers.
I mean, if that's a thought experiment, that's not for you, right? Because you already agree with Ethan. So that literally is for people who disagree with Ethan. So.
Are like, oh, what a way to miss the whole. What a way to be the victim. Yeah, they're only coming after you because you're Israeli. It's like, well, then explain, like, what is your criticism? Because
that's
whenever we actually go into the details, everything changes all the time. Like, if I actually apologize for something, then no, that wasn't the problem. It's something else, you know? I saw now on that beauty guru or whatever subreddit, somebody was trying to argue with someone in the comments on my behalf. Mm-hmm. Like, say, you know, these things are out of context, or she never said that. And then they're like, no, you were not listening. I said she doesn't announce the IDF. Now it's like she never, what is the word?
So the comment
was... never denounced the IDF.
Yeah.
Like,
the comment was, Hila's against the genocide and she doesn't support Israel and what they're doing. And the comment was, no, you didn't hear what I said. She hasn't denounced the IDF. Okay. Anyway, so that happened there. And listen,
it feels like he's more appealing to people who have still have a head on their shoulders. If you may find on the internet that's it. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I do understand that. I don't know. I mean, you know, I know that Ethan made a TikTok and he apologized for some of the ways that he's talked about things in his insensitivity. I think it's one of those things where people are engaging in a confirmation bias, and we'll talk about the people who are anti-Ethan that are maybe more reasonable and might be able to be changed, right? So right now, the apology is not necessarily going to be like, oh, okay, everything's fine. So he's the way that the interpretation is on Ethan right now is enough to make some people not like him, even if they can be changed. It's kind of like a long drawn battle out. And if you're apologizing for some of the ways that you've talked, there is a level of like admission that at the very least you've been insensitive, which I know that Ethan has admitted to doing. So to be honest with you, I don't even necessarily think that the path forward to try to get these people to be on his side is even when it comes to Israel-Palestine. I think a lot of people pretend to care more about that topic than they really do, which is unfortunate, but it's the truth. It's about generating credibility outside of that moment, I would say, more than anything else. That is kind of necessary. That's what I would generally say, and like the way that you represent yourself.
You guys,
I know that he's just like talking his stuff out on his podcast, but I don't know if you guys know this is not what podcasts are for. Just kidding.
I don't talk about this because it's painful and I don't want people to know. But I'll say, I mean, it's from a professional perspective, our entire lives are ruined. Collaborations, partners, business partners, employees, creators, friends.
That's why they're stuck with me and Nicholas Ciora, dude. You guys are cucked. And Alex the Fiction, who thinks Olivia is too woke,
Brittany Broski just completely stopped responding to me for no reason. We were really good buddies.
I don't know, man. I feel like Ethan's current brand is like it's almost exclusively these conversations. Does that make sense? Like I don't know. I feel like this is a real question. I'm like having a real conversation. Do people know? Like right now, is there anything else other than Israel-Palestine that Ethan's like public brand is known for outside of his own sphere? Or is that like really the only thing that he's known? Because I mean, I would say that would be, to me, like that's the solution, right? Is that his entire brand is known as, and then I mean, how? And this, it's easy to say like, hey, just don't do this. You know what I mean? But I feel like would be the focus: is how do you redirect from your brand being 100% associated with Israel-Palestine outside of your sphere? Because I think that's what it is. It isn't. You don't tune into all the positive, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that is what it is. I'm saying that is what it is to anybody outside of his sphere. Right? That's what I'm saying. It's about like being inside of your own sphere. Like there are like multiple levels to everybody in their brand. So like, what do we do here? We do fucking slop drama content, sometimes some politics and social issues, right? Right. But if you're somebody who consumes just like my TikToks, you're probably seeing the bigger stuff, which is me like doing mostly like my biggest hits on like TikTok are like relationship reactions. Right? So like my public perception on TikTok is, oh, this is the fat guy who makes some silly jokes while he does commentary on relationships. Those are my biggest videos. So it's like, okay, we're talking about different spheres. What's the PR like? It's not just about like all of us. We know that Ethan's not fucking insane. But what about 4 layers removed? And then how do you work on that? How do you guys expand there? I have no idea. I mean, part of it's going to have to be working with people that are outside of, the sphere, I suppose. But then, I don't know. I mean, I'm just talking, dude. I'm just throwing stuff around. I'm just shitting my pants. I mean, listen, here's the thing. I know people, listen, I'm just going to be fucking real with you because I like Ethan and Hila. I think a lot of the perspective around this is very doomerish in like the sense of like he's never going to be able to escape his current public image. I've seen a lot of the feedback I'm getting from like Ethan fans in my chat, which I totally understand. But I mean, there's 2 options. Either you feel that way and you fail, or it's like, okay, what could we do? I'm just looking at here. This is a week-old clip. That's from a podcast from like years ago when Ethan was still heavier. You know what I mean? Like, this is how public perception shifts. A lot of people will consume things through clips, and it's like, what do we really got going on here? That's like differently representative. from like his brand. All the information going on TikTok and all on other social media platforms, which is a massive way people consume stuff, is Ethan Israel. That's it. That is everything. And it's usually very negative is an interpretation. It's not fair in the interpretation of like, oh, Ethan is an Israeli citizen. He thinks that the people are good, but he thinks that the government is genocidal. That's his perspective. But that's not what the brand is publicly. Like, that's it. And then he's not making any noise. I don't see any information on here. I don't see like any clips on here that are from the different segments that he does. He doesn't have like any outside branding. It's all like everybody else has control of the narrative. You know what I mean? And so I think that there can still be a rebranding. So all I'm saying is that like the public perception, it doesn't seem like, Frank, to be honest with you, there doesn't seem to be even like a small attempt to change public perception of like the branding here. That's what it seems like to me. You know, which I understand because I know that they feel beat down and like battered. But I'm just saying that's what I'm seeing. You know, that's your biggest thing is going to be like your clip work to get like a new audience or to change the narrative around what's going on. So, you know, I think part of it is that like, you know, I think Ethan and Hila justifiably feel like they've been beaten down because they have been, which is really sad. But that's why they haven't really made a particularly high attempt to push other stuff into the atmosphere. You know?
Texting, hanging outside of the podcast. And I understand her career is important. But like, I just find it fascinating that
I disagree respectively. I disagree with you. I think that there's still a way back. My thing is that they do 2 shows a week and they talk about different things. Like where's the, like, I don't know how they could get so much more stuff out of here. You know, they did a whole bit on Boy Throb, which is like a silly little TikTok thing that's been going on. I've been watching it. There's probably a clip in there for their representation of that. You know, there's probably some TikToks that they could find that they could react to in like a fun way that could be somewhat short segments. You could put up, you can be very successful with longer segments. I think I did a segment talking about Mom Donnie on my TikTok a few days ago, from some weird TikToker. Yeah, okay. So I put up 4 days ago. It's an 8-minute and 25-second long TikTok, and it has 4 million views. You know, you know what I mean? Like, what about that? I'm not saying do Donnie. I'm just saying like you'd be surprised how popular TikTok reactions can be in a positive way. Because they see it as giving up and letting Snark win. Well, I don't see how it's not really Snark winning because they decide to they brand themselves. They don't even necessarily have to stop talking about the stuff, but they're not like their public perception. They're not making any like real, in my opinion, like any proper impact or proper effort on trying to like rebrand themselves publicly. You know, it's nice that Ethan went on and like apologized for like, you know, the way that he has talked about things before, but people don't really give a shit about that. They care more about like what content you're putting out. Like literally, okay, you don't want to know what? I'm gonna compare this here. It's like Bo Blacks. Okay, people, maybe you'll resonate with this, right? Bo Blacks, what does he do? The only thing that Bo Blacks really talks about is like Nicholas Diorio every once in a while to talk about popular shit, but he hasn't built his own brand. I would say that if like Bo Blacks focused on building a brand again, maybe he could get his shit together, but like he doesn't do that. Like his entire, like he hasn't. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe that will work more. They clip fun stuff. I just showed though they haven't put up a clip in a week. You know, I just feel like there's more clips than that. I feel like they could pump out a clip or 2 a day from their content. You know, host content gets rated with hate. Okay, so then like basically what we're hearing here is that Ethan can never succeed. That's what you're telling me. That's your optimistic perspective. Ethan will never be able to change. Dude, like, listen, we have the conservatives who have taken money from Russia who have been able to rebrand. I think that Ethan Klein can rebrand for what's going on with him, too. You know what I mean? He just needs a more, he just needs to, like, I don't know, it's easy. It's easier said than done. I'm not saying, like, oh, this is it, you idiot. Why don't you just do this? Like, it's so much harder than that. And I'm sure the public pressure is so stressful and frustrating. I'm just saying, though, you know, from somebody who's, you know, doesn't have to deal with the level of hate that they get, I could look at some stuff and go, like, oh, maybe this would be a little effective, you know? That's all I'm saying.
Everybody is so against racism. I do not support racism.
He stopped using TikTok to get in trouble. I mean, that's just TikTok, but they're generally okay now. But there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Snapchat. I mean, I can see why you'd want to stay off Twitter, but there's more than that.
I fucking hate racism. It's the worst thing you can be. But the minute you actually stand to sacrifice something for your principles, then it's mom's the word. I don't know him. I never talked to him. Lose my number. I don't want to be involved. Now, listen, I understand the reason that you don't want to get involved because it's a fucking.
I agree, Papa. Hila tried to rebrand and focus on makeup. I hope that goes well. Yeah. I mean, right now, the rebrand is more about Ethan than Hila, I think. I think that Hila is more attached to Ethan from the public perspective. And so the rebrand has to be like the rebrand on the H3 podcast. That's where the rebrand needs to happen. And it's not even like a huge rebrand. We're not even talking about a rebrand. Let's just be clear. We're not talking about a rebrand. We're talking about getting the public narrative to see that Ethan talks about a lot of fun stuff and just put shit out there. Even if you know what I mean? Put stuff out there, get like a clip or two a day out on the podcast. And then like wait, like after a month or so, like things, I guarantee you can change. I'm guaranteeing you. That's just my positive perspective, I guess, on this situation. But
shit show.
I'm telling you, the H3. I don't care about the Listen, I don't mean to be rude. I don't give a fuck. What is an H3 podcast? Like, what does a highlights channel matter in this conversation? A highlights channel is the YouTube atmosphere. All the H3 highlights, it's just the YouTube atmosphere. There we go. We're gonna pull it up. This is not what I'm talking about. I don't care about the videos that are coming out of the H3 atmosphere. I'm talking about the stuff that's going on to Twitter. Not Twitter. I'm talking about the stuff that's going on to short form platforms like TikTok and Instagram. That's what we're talking about. Okay, I don't even know why I'm arguing with you guys. You're not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm getting triggered over nothing. Like, you guys don't know what I'm talking about. They don't do clips the correct way. I'm talking about. I've been so clear about what I'm talking about. At this point, I'm like fucking banging my head against the wall. I'm not even gonna bother. I don't think that you guys. Well, I don't know if it's a disconnect because I'm a content creator, so I'm communicating incorrectly because like I understand like the ins a little more than you guys do, but I'm talking about getting stuff onto like TikTok. We just looked at their TikTok. They haven't posted in a week. They should pump out 20 a day. I don't think they need 20 TikToks a day, but I think they could do like 1 to 3 a day, and they can be very successful. That's what it is. They haven't posted on there in like a week, and it's the same thing with their Instagram. Okay. I'm not answering this anymore.
And if you did voice your support,
I'm not agreeing. I'm not arguing with you guys anymore. I'm right. Shut up.
Time you hung out with us, you would get
you'd get the same kind of harassment that we've been getting for us.
Yeah, it's a mic issue. I'm having an issue with my mic, dude.
2 years, 2+.
It's even worse. You become a target.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a one-time thing, right? Like, you enter the universe of people who have remained friends with them, but. Yeah, I mean, like, we had a shoe collaboration we had working on for a long time, back and forth. It came out beautifully. It was so great. It was a small shoe company.
The shoes were already made.
Yeah, they were done. They were basically a week from release.
Yeah.
And it was really exciting because they were really high quality, nice shoes. And a week before the release, the owner calls us and says, "Hey, listen, basically we can't do the collab." I have like 2 store owners who said like 2 managers who said they'll quit if we drop the shoe. Because you're Zionist or something. And his thing was like, listen, I don't know what it's about, and like they're apologetic, right? But at the same time, we're not doing that collab.
Yeah.
Right? But we're not answering our email. That's why Hila wanted to quit. How the fuck are you supposed to grow a business and, participate in this space?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna people are gonna get so fucking irritated with me that Ethan fans. He's like, his brand is not fucking completely trashed right now. His brand is not good. They're not putting in any meaningful effort to change their brand productively. They do so much more shit on their podcast than they put out there into the world. The majority of your public perspective is going to be what people are seeing on social platforms like TikTok and Instagram. They haven't put stuff out in like a fucking week. Okay, that's what it is. That's what people is. The perspective right now is that like there's a doomeristic perspective. The entire narrative is dominated by whatever else other people want to say. Coming onto TikTok and apologizing for saying dumb shit or saying things incorrectly. That's nice. Nobody gives a fuck about that. People want to see like something different. Show people that you're more than just Israel Palestine. Obviously you are. Just do that. Be productive and focus on that. That's what it is. That's what I think it is. Easier said than done. But I'm saying it, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do? Oh, no, guys, you're fucked. You're a pure victim. They are the victim in many instances. I think that there's a pathway away from this. I don't think that this is so socially damaging that they couldn't recover. It's tough right now, But I think that there's more. I still think that there's more to recover. I still think that there's a shot to make a change. Honestly, you know what I mean. And it's like I like Ethan and Hila, and it's. I'm not trying to be a fucking dickhead, but it's like, you know, come on, you know, you guys can put in, so like, you guys can put it, you guys can get it together. You guys can get your shit together. It'll take a while. It might take like a year or so, but you can get it together. And you can make it work out.
I feel like serial rapists and murderers get treated the same way.
Like I know people that worked on somebody like James Charles' shoot, and they're treating me the same way.
I don't think he gets treated as badly.
The makeup beauty.
I think people have moved on. I think people are fine with James Charles now. It's truly mad. That's what it feels like. It feels like I fucking raped or murdered someone, right? And I got away with it. That's what it feels like, and that's how people talk about us. They said they'll quit their job if they go through with the collaboration. But then also pinning a post of them with Trisha. I mean, this is a separate thing, but the same type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you should look at Trisha as an inspiration. I mean, her being able to come back from her fucking horrible PR should be fucking inspiring. To be honest with you.
So
you don't think TikTok would help them? They post on TikTok, their comments are full of people calling Zionists. Okay, yeah, yes, that is what's going to happen. It's not, the world's not going to change magically for you. I made a stupid ass joke that was like meant to call out somebody who allegedly slept with a fucking 14-year-old when they were 23, and people shit on me for years on it. Like it is what it is. Like that's just what it's going to be. Like I don't know what to tell you. That's just how you have to push through it. You have to muscle through it. That's just what you have to do, or else you're fucked. Or you could just do nothing, I guess, and just fail. I mean, you have, those are your options there. You know, which one would you rather do?
Yes, again, I'm not talked about it because what's the fucking point? But slowly over the years, it's gotten to the point where worse and worse, more partners, more sponsors, more friends.
Shit.
You know?
I mean, there are people that enjoy working with us, but even since this happened, they explained to me on Instagram that they're scared to be tagged in our stuff because of the harassment that they get. And they're like, listen, I'm not mentally stable enough to handle all this. Like, I'd rather just not, because it's too scary. So, yeah.
And so, like, this is kind of the space that we've been existing in mentally. And then when Hila does this photo shoot, and 3 of the 6 people immediately are like, I denounce and erase and, you know, fuck this, the owner who supports genocide and supports Israel, whatever that means. It just feels like...
Also, trying to get people to do this show with me was not easy.
Right.
I had a few people in mind already that I've worked with before. And I thought, oh, we'll definitely shoot this together. We talked about it before. And when it was time to do it, they didn't want to associate with me anymore.
Yeah. It's so obviously racism, but like it's so frustrating. It's so fascinating to me that all these extraordinarily progressive woke people are participating in a racist hate campaign, and to them it's just no big deal. It's like nobody wants to fucking sacrifice a single mote, a single dust of anything that they have to actually stand up to do the right thing, right? That's what it feels like, and you know, it's hard not to. And I say that while understanding why people do that. But I'll say this:
who the fuck am I?
Someone like Brittany Borowski, I think is like I don't think I'll ever forgive her. Like I don't know how far in the future, or if this ever becomes a thing where like it blows over. I don't.
Bro, come on. What did Brittany Broski do publicly? Bro, I don't know, dude. Dude, it's like, you know, I'm in a tough spot. Actually, I'm not in a tough. I don't give a fuck. Okay, because I actually like Ethan, so I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna sit here and just not say things that I think make sense to me. Okay, like Ethan's brand is shit right now. I can understand why people don't want to associate with him. It's not really his fault. It's fucking bullshit, but that's like what it is. So why are you mad at Brittany Broski? Did she do something like horrific to him? Like people are terrified of like losing their brand. I'm just saying, like I get it. You know, I don't think that the solution is to be like so fucking eternally pissed off at these people. You know? Wow, I just instantly died. That was fucking incredible. You know? She ghosted him. Okay. That sucks. You know what I mean? Like why? It's okay to be hurt. What did I say? Parasocial. But like you have to understand, just what's going on. It is what it is.
I don't know. But like, I don't think I can ever forgive a friend for just completely ghosting me because of a fucking racist hate campaign that's been targeted to me. And she's been targeted by the same people, by the way, ironically, for not talking about it at all.
Yeah, she goes to fear backlash. Absolutely, afraid of backlash. And you know what? It's easy for someone like me to be like, I don't care about the backlash because like it doesn't matter to you guys. Like, I don't have a massive brand like that. You know what I mean? But like, unfortunately, it is what it is. I honestly get why she would do it. It sounds shitty, but I get it. You know, she's not gonna. You know, it could potentially be like, you know, career ending. That's what it is. You know, she's got to protect her brand first. You know, I know it's easy, but like when I got banned on TikTok originally, after I had like 2.5 million people, you know, I had people who wanted to defend me, and I said, don't defend me publicly because like, what are you gonna do? Like, what ends up happening from that? You're gonna fucking lose you're gonna leverage your platform against me. I made my mistake in the way that I interpreted shit. Even if I was right, I fucked up. So like, don't ruin your brand for me. You know, again, he's much bigger than me, so it's like a lot different. I get that, but it's just like the fundamentals are very similar. You know,
I remember she was targeted. Like, Brittany hasn't mentioned the genocide. She must be pro-Israel, and so she made a statement after being badgered by it for a while. And I guess part of her offering to this group of deranged internet activists was stop being friends with Ethan. The amount of friends and associates that we've lost, you know, it's unreal. I mean, it's just unreal. It really is. There's almost nobody left, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the creator space, in the fashion space, in the makeup space, forget about it. You know, if we launched this like a year or 2 years ago, not a year ago, pre-October.
Pre-October 7.
Like, we could have had like Bella Porch, Pokimane.
Whoa, Bella Porch.
All kinds of different friends who we could reach out to and work with on this. These people are not going to talk to us now, and I understand why. Clearly, I'm not. And by the way,
he didn't ask for defender. That's not the point that I was making. That's like simply not the point that I'm making. You know, I think at the end of the day, I feel like I have to say I like Ethan because you guys are getting so fucking worked up over this. There's a way that he's like, his brand is his responsibility, unfortunately, and like he's gotten a really raw deal, but like he has to work his brand back. I think it'd be more productive to do that rather than to focus on the people that he feels like wasn't there in the way he wishes that they were, you know, when everything was like blowing up. I mean, that's it.
These people are not like close friends like I was with Brittany Broski, so I don't mean to even really cast blame onto them in that way. But the point is that the stigma is there, and it's so strong.
The stigma?
And it's literally just because Hila was born somewhere. Because if it was anything else, then why are these people working with Trisha?
And I cannot stand, like, please don't tell me that is not why. Because
that's part of the crazy making that anti-Semites do.
Because it is why.
Beginning of time.
Everything that I say doesn't matter. When I apologize, it doesn't matter. They don't hear it. When I say I don't support Bibi and the government,
when
they
you
don't hear
donate,
it.
it's not enough. When you denounce it, you didn't say it right.
We donated. Nobody cares. What did I say? Did I care about my family there?
Yeah, that I don't think that civilians should be slaughtered. That I think it's a little complicated, right? To say the least, to expect, third generation Israelis to give their fucking property away. Third generations, bro. How long you lived in America, motherfuckers? Not that much longer at this point. People have been living there for 100 years now in Israel, right? You're a third generation, I think. Your parents were both.
My parents were born in Israel.
Her parents were born in Israel. That's how long her family's been there.
And that made me second generation?
I guess that'll make you second generation, yeah. I mean, what's the difference? 100 years? But it's okay now in America. Because I don't see these people lining up to give their homes away. Or all their belongings away. Or their money away. I don't see them doing that. So clearly what it is, it's just not enough time, right? That's the only difference. Which is a really fucking interesting argument to make.
Damn, I'm just promoting so many captains here.
Nuance is dead. It is.
Sure. I mean, I generally agree. I just, I said like 100 times already. I don't think that the way to rebuild their credibility is going to be through talk about Israel-Palestine. I don't think that they need to do that. I think that they could have like they could have credibility built through talking about other topics, and that'll work just fine. Well, it would take difficult, but I don't think that the solution is to frankly, perseverate on Israel-Palestine. I mean, it's easier said than done. That's like a very personal thing to them, obviously. It's pretty fucked up what's happening, but I don't think that that's the solution here.
And again, you say, oh, people are constantly crazy making you like, how dare you call me anti-Semitic? Like Sam Cedar, how dare you say it's anti-Semitic of you to say that Hassan is anti-Semitic for saying is a Jew, anyone who's had a positive feeling about Israel is not fit to walk a dog. Never forget the great Sartre quote. Never believe that anti-Semites are completely unaware of the absurdity of their replies. They know their remarks are frivolous and open to challenge, but they amuse themselves. For it is their adversary who is obliged to use words responsibly, since he believes in words. The anti-Semites have the right to play. They even like to play with discourse, for by giving ridiculous reasons, they discredit the seriousness of their interlocutors. They delight in acting in bad faith, since they seek not to persuade by sound arguments, but to intimidate and disconcert. If you press them too closely, they will abruptly fall silent, loftily indicating by some phrase that the time for argument is past. And I mean, it's still true. You know, you can't even claim that there's anti-Semitism without invoking a whole fucking wave of hate just for. Look at the Jew cries out in pain. You know, the fuck.
Wow,
and it's a very like I think a lot of these people don't know they're being racist, right? But they are. I mean, they're participating in it. What's this? This was what we already looked at. This one was kind of fascinating. Somebody wrote her just trying to be actually a really thoughtful message. So it wasn't harassy at all, but they're like, just so you know, like you're missing a lot by calling Hila this and denouncing them. I wrote them a really thoughtful message, and her response was, I ain't reading all that. Have a good day.
That's fucked up.
Crying, laughing emoji. But I just find that so fascinating because it's like you're against racism, right?
Oh, dude, I'm playing. Like
Do not send
asshole.
messages, by the way. This was a very thoughtful message, and I don't think they even responded to this. We do not need more messages from them. Thank you. Do not do it. Do not do it. I'm not going to open another one. Don't post the DMs. Don't post the conversations. I'm not going to show them. So don't even try. Right? Here's a post. This is just from their public Instagram account. The one of the makeup artists. She has pinned the post with Trisha. Wait, where's the post she has? This is the one, yeah. Mm-hmm. From November 2nd. Yeah, man.
Damn, her boobs look kind of good there, huh?
Why is that okay? So she's had this pinned for over a year, and nobody's harassed her for that, eh? Nobody's asked, hey, why do you have a Zionist pinned to your...
I'm just promoting the fuck.
You know what I always hear from people like Sam Cedar and Hassan? They go, most Zionists are not even Jews. It's like, okay, well, why am I the one being harassed then? And Trisha is I don't see anyone asking Trisha for being a Zionist. Okay, there's tons of Christian Zionists. Where are they fucking being protested exactly? Why is it always outside of a synagogue or a Jew's house or fucking on my page, right? It sure happens to seem that they always find the Jewish Zionists, quote unquote Zionists, whether or not they are, it doesn't really seem to matter. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy business, man. And this post was just from a year ago. When you take your boyfriend's Israeli identity and all the comments are free Palestine and you're just trying to figure out what Palestine even is and why it needs to be freed. It's crazy. Like she was like just straight up nasty about it. She was flippant. Like it was straight up like, I don't care. And this one, she's like, we're for Israel, fuck Palestine. And Moses had the good sense to be like, we're filming this, so let's not. But trust me, I've known Moses long enough, and I know.
Yeah, Trisha's not a Hassan target. That's definitely a big part of it. You know, I mean, I guess that's the question: is like, how do you remove yourself from that explicit connection? Huh?
Well, that motherfucker is. I know where his heart is. Okay, let me tell you, it's here. All right. So why? Seriously, why? I mean. Can somebody answer why is it okay that she works with Trisha but has to denounce us? Why is that?
Because Trisha just has better PR for herself right now. That's the answer.
Some may deem it interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Not really. Honestly, the question it's obvious. Trisha's PR is better. Trisha's PR is it's simply better. Like that's literally all it is. She has better PR. Like you know what I mean? Like that's what the focus would be on.
Some may deem it interesting, yeah.
Possibly.
I don't understand how Trisha gets a pass. She was tap dancing for Israel less than 2 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys even knew that, but she was trying to build a whole career in Israel. Right? So that's what's going on there. And I guess that's basically, I don't know if there's more to say about it. But like, I mean, the fate of this, a lot of people are receiving the makeup, and I'm seeing that everybody's loving it, which I knew they would. And I'm very happy, but I don't know how a brand can survive if anyone with any following is treat you like you're Bill Cosby or something.
Jesus Christ.
Or like Chris D'Elia.
I mean, even Chris D'Elia is on its way back up, so.
I didn't even do anything. Right? I didn't even do anything.
Damn, I'm getting cocked.
So that's what that is. That's why Hila was... Hila wanted to quit everything. I thought you were just I don't know. You want to talk about it?
Well, yeah, Ethan was like, I guess it was like, what, like Teddy Fresh? Like, and I was like, no, everything.
She's like, the podcast. And I was like, no.
Also...
That's the only reason anyone supports us, man. Without the podcast, I'd be fucking...
Jesus
but
Christ.
also, the more I thought about it, I was like, I want to quit when I want to quit and when I make that decision, not because people are pushing me out to do it and give them that satisfaction.
Yeah, but I truly don't know how.
I also, like, frankly, I don't know how productive this public conversation is about how, like, she feels like she wants to quit. Because it's, like, really sad, and I think that for people who like Ethan, they're like, oh, man, that sucks, I wouldn't want that. What does this communicate to people who hate Ethan? Oh, we're getting closer. Like, that's all it communicates. You know? It's probably not the best way to operate, huh? I don't know. I'm getting my ass beat, by the way. Fuck.
Teddy Glow will work as a brand long term if it's like this. We can't work with anyone. Can't work with any creators, influencers.
Guys, I'm new to the game and I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. Leave me alone.
Can't live on an island, bro. It's just not
It's
possible.
already been like that. That's already what our reality has been with Teddy Fresh and everything.
Maybe we could try like Boy Throb and say, if we don't sell this makeup, then Love's gonna be sent back to Sweden.
Oh, that's a reverse Boy Throb.
Yeah, voice.
That's too close for the truth.
I'm kind of
Yeah, actually, it is.
That's why it's good. That's
It
why
is
it's so
kind of
good.
it is kind of true because the pot goes down and our ass is going back to Dearborn as well.
But you don't need a visa though.
I don't need a visa though, but it is like a different country sometimes.
Although I do think sometimes he does want to deport American citizens.
Yeah.
So who
True.
knows?
Well, I'm sorry you're dealing with this, Hila. It's despicable the way people are. I know I support you guys through and through, and it's just it's awful the way people are, the way the world is.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, thank you to everybody here and our audience as well. I mean, that's
Our audience was extremely supportive and kind.
Yeah.
And again, so grateful, despite everything we've been through, to still have like a significant core audience that supports us, that knows who we are, right? That's the only reason we've been able to continue pushing.
Oh, shit.
Mhm.
I mean, there'd be no point otherwise. There'd just be no point. So thank you guys. And that's what that is. And that's what's going on in my neck of the woods.
All right.
I think those are the pocket pussies, right?
What?
The what?
Can we get one for the office?
I'm not getting pocket pussies for the office, Nate. That's disgusting. Get your
No,
own.
you don't want it.
Get
That's crazy. I'll work there.
your own, okay? And leave me out of this conversation, please. Delete me from this conversation. I think part of what's it feels maddening. It feels like gaslighting, like crazy making. Like it's so frustrating to look at all these super woke people and nobody fucking can see what's happening. It's like they're so woke and they're so aware and they're so sensitive to racism and even Hassan, when I was talking, I go, so you're someone that's like sensitive to microaggressions, right? And he says, yes, I am. And you're saying swastika hilt should not make me feel uncomfortable. No, you're insane.
Mm.
And what, 3
You're insane. You're in pain. You know what I'm saying, dude? I can tell by what you're saying, dude.
million people watch
That's what Ethan needs to do to come back. He needs to start rapping. You think I'm crazy, Jay? You know?
that, and nobody who supports him thought that was a little fucking nuts, a little fucked up to tell that? It's just like, these people don't give a fuck. It makes kind of disillusioning where it's like, do these people care about this at all, about anyone? Or,
That's a swastika.
yeah. That's what he said, by the way, when he saw it.
Immediately goes for the swastika one. Got it.
Yeah, he says he didn't know, but he sure mentioned it a lot of times. Anyway, we have a lot to move on to. We got top of the show stuff. Also, I have
All right. Well, that sucks about Teddy Glow. I'm sorry. It's terrible stuff. So I just got off stream, but I wanted to like just say one more thing to kind of reinforce my argument here, and that is that like, you know, I was making a big point about how I think that there needs to be more clipping. There needs to be more content being pushed out on things like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, even Snapchat, that shows some of the more fun, brighter moments instead of letting the entire narrative be controlled by like, you know, not even their takes over Israel-Palestine, but like really the dishonest interpretation of their takes on Israel-Palestine. And really just leading their brand away from that as the only thing that they are known for publicly outside of their sphere. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Like the only other thing I could point to though is the Instagram and like the Instagram stories from Ethan. And from what I see, a lot of times they focus on, you know, talking about Israel-Palestine. Like I'm scrolling through it right now and I see 1, 2, 3, like just a bunch of clips. Just a bunch of clips of like him talking about, you know, whatever that annoying girl is and Chris Kunzler. You know, these are like the publicly, all we're really seeing is his arguments with, it's all snark stuff. Most of the stuff is like, it's just like snark fuel. You know, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I think that there's a better way that Ethan can pretend himself. And again, easier said than done. I'm not sitting here saying like I have all the answers and that it would be so easy for me or anybody else to deal with the type of fucking hate campaign Ethan has against him. But you know, there's two options here. We could either have a doomeristic perspective and then you've failed and there's nothing you could change, or there's like, hey, you know what? I have some control over this, even if it's only 5% of the control. We already know 5% is a lot. So